Hi everyone, in today's video we are diving into a critical security vulnerability that affects web applications, that is server-side template injections or SSTI. If you are into web security, you have probably come across the term, but do you really understand how it really works and the impact it can have. Whether you are a developer or a security researcher, SSTI can open door to devastating remote code execution on the server. So let's break it down and explore these vulnerabilities and find how these vulnerabilities occur and how to mitigate them. Talking about SSTI, web applications today often rely on server-side templating engines like Jinja2, Twig, and FrameMaker to dynamically generate HTML responses. These engines allow developers to embed variables and logic into the templates, making web pages more interactive and user-friendly. However, if a user input is improperly handled and directly injected into the templates, it can lead to server-side template injection vulnerability. This flaw happens when an attacker can inject untrusted data into the template, causing the server to execute the malicious code. What is the result? Remote code execution on the server, which could give attackers control over your backend systems and the data. In this video, we will walk through how SSTI vulnerabilities arise and how they can be exploited. So without any wait, let's get into it. Yeah, we will be demonstrating this particular vulnerability, that is the SSTI vulnerability, by using the PortSwigger labs that we can find for free on their website. So what we'll be doing is we will be just starting out the lab, accessing the lab, that is. So while it loads, we'll just take a brief read about the description of this particular lab. So this particular lab states that this lab is vulnerable to server-side template injection due to unsafe construction of the ERB template. To solve the lab, review the ERB documentation to find out how to execute arbitrary code and delete the morale.txt. So what we have to do is we have to find the parameter that we have to inject, and we have to find a location to execute the arbitrary code and then delete the morale.txt file. So we will just navigate to the lab. We will turn on our burp suite, and yeah, and we will just refresh that so that the logs gets entered in our in our history tab. Yeah, and we will just click around to find for the functionalities that occur. So when we click on the view details or the number one product, that is, so it gives us some sort of response that is unfortunately this product is out of stock, and it is mentioned on this particular parameter as well. I think this is a parameter over which we can inject. We will just click around to look for something else as well, if there is a particular place that we can inject our payload. As we already know, this is already vulnerable to SSTI. So I do not think there is any particular functionality apart from this. So this is unique for this particular scenario. So what we will do is we will look for if it is reflected in our current. Okay, so whatever we put in the message parameter, it gets reflected on the web page itself. So what we'll be trying to do is we will be trying different payloads to look for if the web application. So what we'll do is we'll just send this to repeater. We'll just put an hi, and we will turn the intercept on, and yeah, so no, that's not the request. We'll just hit the request, and over here this particular request we'll send that to repeater, and rest all we will just forward that. We will just send this once more, and we will look if hi gets reflected in. Yeah, as you can see, whatever we inject over here gets reflected, right? So what we will do is, as we already know this this web application is vulnerable to SSTI, we will try out a lot of payloads that we can do. So how we will do that, you can just navigate to Hacktricks, SSTI, just search, give it a Google search. Yeah, as you can see, you can look through most of the cheat sheets. So we already know it is an ERB, right? ERB template being used. So as you can see, there are these types of you just have to select this particular payload, navigate to our tab, and look if the current web application executes the 7 into 7, that is, if we will look for if it gives us 49 in the response, 49. So it does not have any matches currently. So what we will do is we will navigate to the over here, and we will look for some other payloads that we can execute to look if there is any code execution, template execution over here. So we'll just URL encode it and send. So yeah, over here, as you can see that the 7 into 7 is being executed over here. How we can confirm is you can just change this particular number to 8, and then if it gives us some other value, that is 7 into 8, that is 56. So it gives us some other number and it confirms the execution of the current payload, right? So what we will do is we will try to do other payloads for getting an arbitrary execution of the code, right? So we will just navigate to over here. As you can see over here, it's listed that if you want to execute code, you can use this particular payload. So what we will do is you can go through the documentation if you need. You can go through the documentation to look for what are the system, how do we execute system commands, but you can also take a bit of like easier way out if you just look for the payloads from the payload section from the hack tracks. That is, you can just give it URL encode this, Control U, and send it. And if it gives us, we will just navigate to the section. Yeah, over here it mentions who am I as Carlos. What we will do is we will look for other things as well. We will just ls the current ls and find out what are the current contents in the current directory. That is, we'll just send that. We'll navigate to, yeah, over here in the current folder only morale.txt is there. So we'll also do the pwd to understand in what directory are we currently in. Pwd, yeah, we are in home Carlos. So we do have code execution over here, so command execution over here. So what we will do is we will just do rm space, and then what we will do is we will remove morale.txt, right? Morale.txt, and we will just URL encode this, Control U, and then send. So, and we will just refresh to see if the morale.txt has been deleted and the lab has been solved. So yeah, with that we have completed the lab number 1, in which the objective of the lab was to delete the morale.txt. We confirmed the execution by using the initial payload, that is 7 into 7 and 7 into 8, that is 56. So yeah, with that we have completed the first lab, in which we demonstrated how SSTI typically looks like, how do we inject it, and what are the payloads that we typically look for. So there might be other types of templates that are used in the backend. So how do we confirm that? What we can do is while you are injecting the types of payloads, what you could do is you can just remove this and type some sort of gibberish, and once you hit enter, you will get some sort of error mentioning over here. You can see that it is using Ruby, and it is mentioning that it is an ERB, using an ERB template. So with this you will get an idea. You can figure out things when we are looking for while you are enumerating. If you get any particular error saying from a particular templating engine or something like that, you could just try to inject payloads over there as well. So yeah, that was just the first lab that we did. We will continue this to enumerate and to solve various boxes for the other SSTI labs as well. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.